Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of That's So Matthew. Today, I'm so excited to have one of my best friends, Juliana, on the podcast. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Julianna, and I'm so excited to finally be on the pod.
I am so excited to finally have you on the podcast because I feel like we've been wanting to do a podcast for ever. And
We
you know what?
have.
Our lives are so busy. It's terrible.
No, I think it's taken a year to finally get me
Yeah.
on here because we finally have time in our lives now that it's winter break. But oh my
I know.
goodness,
I'm so excited, and we're talking about such an iconic movie.
so true.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And guess what, everyone? I just watched this movie for the first time 2 weeks ago, so I'm fake. First off, I'm so fake. And second off, it is so popular right now that I'm definitely using this episode to hop on the bandwagon. Because, okay, it's all over TikTok, the sound, and they thought they would be Ben's partner. First off, I thought when it started going viral that it was Dance Partner.
No, Matthew. No.
And then my sister
not
made
when
me-
there are subtitles.
My sister made me watch it with her 2 weeks ago, and then I was like, wait, okay, now it all makes more sense. But it's so fun, it's so iconic. So really shout out to Anna for introducing me to this movie because it was only on Netflix for a short amount of time, I feel like.
Shout out! It comes off Netflix on the 31st.
I know, and this is being released on the 30th, so people have one day.
They have one day to catch up.
They have one day, and I feel like everyone's watched it though, so I'm very excited to release this episode. I feel like I normally want to do a little catch up at the beginning of my episodes, but there's nothing to catch up on. Basically, I've recorded 3 podcast episodes in the past 3 days, so we are absolutely thriving.
Oh my god.
Consistency finally. And that's about it. That's all I've done. I have literally nothing else going on in my life, except for I did go to Target the other day and spend way too much money on my Christmas gift cards.
That's a serve though. I feel like that's definitely a rite of passage everyone goes through. I have so many Starbucks gift cards. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them.
Oh, me too. I have so
It's-
many. They better release some cute cups because I could buy some with my gift cards.
Honestly, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, basic information about this movie is it stars the one and only Kate Hudson. Also, Catherine Han, who is famous for WandaVision, is also in this. So
Matthew McConaughey.
how could
hello?
we Matthew on That's So Matthew? Come on,
No, literally the names they match up.
they
It's
match up.
crazy.
It's perf. It's so amazing. How could I pass up this opportunity? It is a 2003 movie. Came out 1 year before I was born because I'm a 2004.
hmm
So we're living. It is based off of a picture book of the same name. And first off, so iconic. It also isn't fully based off of the book. The book is kind of just the do's and don'ts of dating, which I feel like everyone needs these days. So shout out to that book.
So
So
true.
so true. We're gonna say so true 500 times, and that's that.
Probably. You have to edit it out.
No, it's okay. I only edit out bad stuff on the pod because I'm lazy. I hate editing. So in the film, it's about Benjamin Barry who thinks and bets that he can make any woman fall in love with him. But then we have a woman's magazine writer, Andy Anderson, also similar to my last name, which is kind of iconic. That's what everyone always says. Everyone always says Matthew Anderson. That is not how you say it. Everyone.
No, it's not.
It is not, and it's so funny. And she is writing an article on how she led her boyfriend to dump her in 10 days. How, I guess you could say, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh,
The name of the movie.
the name of the article.
It's all just coming together. And so she uses a lot of the things like clinginess, being annoying, etc., to get Ben to break up with her. But is it going to work? That's literally the whole point of the movie. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work at all. Which is kind of crazy because I won't lie, she was so annoying when she was trying to get him to break up with her.
It was honestly over the top, and I feel like just the situation itself was just like so unrealistic. But I feel like that's the point of the movie, you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be like kind of like, oh my God, this is so funny, this situation, haha. But like I just feel like it's just so anyway, it's just so weird to me
It's
sometimes.
really it's
Also
really bad.
their names are Andy Anderson and Benjamin Barry. The double A and the double B, excuse me.
As a Matthew Mark, that's my middle name, and MM, I relate to that. I just love it. I love stupid movies, and this movie is kind of a stupid movie, but like it's a good stupid movie. It's a rom-com.
I It's totally one of the better stupid movies.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so first off, let's talk about Andy in general. So as a person, like not trying to be annoying, I kind of love her.
Hmm.
But as a person who's like trying to get this boy to break up with her, she's super annoying.
But I feel like I don't know. How do you feel about her choosing to write the article "How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days"? Because in the beginning, her like best friend had a guy dump her. Remember?
Yes,
And
he
she's
actually comes
like,
back at the end
a
of the movie
guy.
too.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, that's my favorite part. And I don't know. I feel like she's like her best friend is originally like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" But then it actually works out because then like their like boss, the manager of the magazine, just like gets off of her friend's back. And honestly, I feel like that is such like a power move and such like a good friend of her. I don't know. Like,
Okay, I feel like she wrote it just for the magazine purposes. Like she kind of knew that it was wrong, but then she ended up leaving the magazine in the end. So
yeah.
like it kind of just doesn't make sense to me. However, I feel like she wrote it like trying to like further herself as a writer, but then kind of like
Mhm.
she kind of messed up a little bit because I feel like she ended up like actually catching feelings for him, and so did he. Like it went
Oh
both
yeah.
ways. So then like she was like doing this to this man that she liked. So I don't know. It's a little messy for me. Um, I don't do messy. So actually, I kind of do, but like it was just so messy for me. I hate messy. I don't know. She was super nice. Like honestly, kind of my favorite character because I feel like she's the lead character, so like you're just naturally drawn to her. Um, I loved the scene and towards the end when they were at the party doing like the little karaoke
Oh
moment.
my God.
So iconic. She also is very clearly tone deaf or was singing tone deaf for the movie.
She was also so drunk in the movie. So it
Yeah,
was, I feel like it worked. It totally worked.
it was 10 out of 10 experience for her, and like I actually really like her a lot. The one scene that I could not do, and this is a little PG-13 for the listeners of That's So Matthew, you'll have to mark this episode as explicit, but the sex scene, it was so
Princess Sophia.
it was so awkward. I was like dead. She was doing too much.
Ah, that part was so unrealistic, I feel like, because the entire point of the article is to like list like common ways that people like lose their partner. And I don't know how many people are naming their partners um
Parts,
anyway,
for the lack of a better
parts
word.
Princess Sophia. I don't know. I just feel like that part was a little maybe it's dated, I don't know,
It was a
but
little bit much.
it was just a little much.
It was cute though, I guess. Like it worked because he was like so weirded out. But yeah, she's just a lot. Or like the scene where they're at the game and she's like, "Go get me a Pepsi or whatever." And she was being so annoying about it, and he was like so interested in the game, and like he still went to go get it, and then she like came back, or he came back, and she was like, "No, this isn't diet." Like, girl,
Oh my God.
yeah,
No, but
she was
honestly,
kind of cringe.
yeah. Okay. So Benjamin Barry, this guy, I feel like aside from being extremely attractive, I feel like him taking the bet is like kind of I don't know, I feel like it's like messed up because it wasn't like it was like for his job, you know?
That's the thing. The thing that I thought I was going into this movie like when I was watching it with my sister that I was gonna assume they were both doing the same thing to each other, like he was writing like an article, but he's just doing this for himself, that he's trying to brag that he can get a girl to fall madly in love with him in 10 days.
But he was trying to do it for like the diamond deal or whatever, but
True.
he was trying to like advance himself. But I feel like her article was just, I don't know, it was just an article. And yeah, her like manager, like the magazine, like head was like, after this, you can write whatever you want. But I don't think that was going to get her other places. But like for him, like seducing this girl and making her fall in love with him in 10 days was so like, I don't know, I feel like that was personal.
That was personal. That no, it was. He just okay. I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast, but he's kind of an asshole. Like
Honestly. Like,
he doesn't have that much going for him.
no, he does not.
He's just got his bad personality. His friends, okay, I speak from experience. If he has bad friends, bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Get him out. And
Honestly.
so his friends were so annoyingly terrible.
Mm-hmm. They were, oh yeah. And then when like she came into his work and like she was being annoying because she literally bought a dog. I'm sorry, where did she get that dog?
Why did it pee everywhere?
I don't know. Did she never take it outside? I don't know.
It was so
But
funny.
I think the dog plot was hilarious, to be fair.
It was hilarious.
So funny. But I don't know. I feel like his friends were just like total jerks and they totally like made fun of her.
Bad friends.
Bad friends, bad guy, honestly. Period.
Period. End of
But
story.
but I feel like in a way they definitely both like Ben and Andy, I feel like both of them definitely were like slightly in the wrong. But like if we had to choose a person that was like not like the villain, but was like worse, I feel like it was definitely Ben. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
He kind of was in not 100% in the wrong. Like he was in the wrong a little bit, but like not as bad as Andy. Like Andy was just doing too much.
Mm-hmm. Andy was doing too much, but she was trying to get him to break up with her. And like, I feel like that isn't as bad as like convincing your friends you can get a girl you don't even know to fall in love with you. Like, I feel like that's almost like manipulation, you know? And especially like there were so many points where he was just like so annoyed with her and he just like didn't even like enjoy her company anymore, but he was still with her because of the bet. And I feel like that's just so cruel. Like, just like admit you can't do it if you really don't like her because like making her fall in love with him when he like honestly hated her in so many moments is just like so cruel. I don't know.
I just feel like he faked his way through the entire relationship.
Yeah. Red flag.
Like red flag. Like get out of there. And so personally, from my experience, it doesn't work out. So what was she doing? Because I feel like she kind of knew that she was catching feelings. Like she was kind of in it to like win it. Like she wanted it, but he just never wanted it.
Yeah. Like she like started catching feelings because he was like literally taking her to his family's home and like getting her like attached to his family when he just like didn't even like her. You know? Like they definitely had their moments, but like overall, he would get annoyed with her so fast, which was her intention. But like I just feel like if you really don't like someone, why are you still taking them places and like to go off that, they went on so many dates in less than 10 days.
So
That
many dates.
who how are they affording those Knicks tickets?
How did they
Because
like I don't know. They really did a lot.
they did so much and it was in like a week. Can you imagine? I'm sorry, meeting someone for the first time in a bar and then seeing them every single day.
For the next 10 days.
that's kind of ridiculous. I don't know. Like, I for like a personal example, like I saw a guy and I had known him for like a couple of months, but like I went on one date with him and then we're not going on another one for like another 2 days. Cause like that's weird if I saw him the next day.
Exactly.
But
You
they
gotta
saw
get, you
each
gotta
other not
space it
only
out.
exactly, they saw each other not only the next day, but the day after that and the day after that, for like a solid week every single day. I just think that's so ridiculous.
Yeah, they were doing too much.
Mhm.
They were doing too much. Yeah. I don't even like know what to say because I just feel like this is just not my place to speak, but that messy. Messy. Um, yeah.
Like the soccer player?
Yeah, this okay. This is so cringy, but I feel like I need to say this and I won't like fully call this person out, but I may have had a crush on someone in like 5th grade and our ship name was Messy and everyone was like, yeah. Yeah, it was messy and that's what everyone would always say like the soccer player.
Sorry, I'm crying.
It's okay. It's really funny. It's actually
That's
hilarious.
that's just a red flag. I'm sorry.
And you know what? Guess what? Guess what? It didn't work out. So,
That's so shocking. Oh my god.
ooh,
Plot
yeah.
twist.
Yeah, so messy. It's just messy, in general. Okay, what did we think of her friends? Like Michelle.
I think that oh, was Michelle the one that lost the guy?
Yeah, and then she's the one who was the therapist for that one scene.
Yes. Oh my god. Such a good friend. Literally like and I think in the beginning, especially Andy was such a good friend to her. And I could tell that even though they just like they seemed like just work friends, but like honestly, like they had a meeting, remember? And Andy got Michelle to that meeting with coffee and looking amazing. And I think that is such a good friend. And I feel like Michelle really really paid it forward and like was their fake therapist. And oh my god, I feel like that is just like such like an iconic thing to do for your friend.
Oh yeah,
So like
100%. She was
and her
such a
like
good friend.
no, literally so good. And I think her other friend, I can't remember her other name, the name right now, but
I can't remember either. Is it like it was something with like a J maybe? I don't remember.
I think it might have been like
Jenny?
Jenny. I think it might have been Jenny. I
I
don't
love
know.
how we both said
But
Jenny at the same time.
I think so. But I feel like they were good friends to her and they knew that she was doing this because it's quite literally her job and they were really supportive and they probably gave a lot of ideas of what to do to be like extremely annoying.
Yeah, I feel like her friends were just such like they were very supportive of this endeavor.
They were so supportive and I feel like it was also like reminiscent of things that they went through too because like Michelle like lost a guy because of all the things that she did without knowing that they were like uncomfortable for him, you
Yeah.
know? And so I feel like seeing Andy go through this and not knowing that the other guy was just trying to make her like fall in love with him was kind of like what the hell is going on? Is it just because like Andy's like so pretty or whatever? Because Kate Hudson. But like I feel like it was like weird to watch, but I feel like they were still like such good friends. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they were very good friends. I was kind of here for every single support because I feel like everyone needs, okay, when you're in like a relationship, hot take, friends are your best friend. Like they're obviously already your best friend, but like having friends that are
Yeah.
gonna like tell you the truth, even if they choose not to, is just like perfect. So having like a friend to support and like the fake therapist,
Yes.
so iconic. That was such a good scene. I just thought it was hilarious. Like I honestly ate it up. Like it was so funny. And like
Honestly,
at the
because
end when
like
he like realizes that she was the therapist and he's like, you owe me $300.
and she probably paid him back, honestly. Like
Yeah, it was a cute like plot point. Like I was so here
I
for
thought
it.
that was funny. His
Um
friends, on the other hand,
yeah. But his friends are not great. Um
no,
hot
they
take.
were. I feel like they totally like not objectified Andy, but like they like made fun of her and they like mocked her
A lot.
like a lot. And I was just like, ooh, I don't like it. Like it was just like really toxic and I feel like Ben didn't really do anything about it much. Like
Not at
he
all.
was just like he was just like, oh, whatever. Like he didn't really give a shit. And so like sorry, pardon my language, but
It's
like
okay. I'll
I
mark it
feel
as
like
explicit. Don't worry.
it's okay. I feel like they just totally didn't think of Andy as a person and they just thought of her as like this person in their bed. Like they totally made fun of her and that was like kind of gross.
Yeah, they were just not like very like supportive at all. Like I can't even like think of like a good example of like when they were being good friends to like him and like supportive of his relationship with Andy because there just wasn't a time.
There wasn't much like room for support either because like they knew it was like for a bet, so they weren't really like being supportive. And so I feel like I don't know. I just feel like Ben was like so charismatic, but at the same time, watching it, you know it's all like fake.
Yeah, he was like definitely leading her on for I feel like a lot of it and then to come back around at the end and be like wanting her like that was like so weird to me like that he like chased her down, literally chased her into this taxi and she just kind of bought into it like right away.
Yeah. Like she knew it was a bet. So then she knew that like he obviously like didn't care about her and he would just like stuck through her annoyingness because that's what he had to do. And so like I feel like the ending is super sweet, but when you think about it, they definitely broke up.
Oh, yeah, they definitely broke up like 5 days later. It
Yeah,
was just kind of it was messy. I don't know what other word to use. I feel like I've said it like 500 times, but like they definitely I just can't tell like if the feelings were ever real.
yeah, I feel like the entire thing was just so fake.
And I'm not here for that because yeah, just not here for that. So, okay. Um the also her boss was kind of annoying because she like also led her on in a way because she was like when you're done writing this, you can write whatever you want, but then in the end she did not have the ability to write whatever she wanted. She could only write like fashion stuff which she wasn't like interested in. Like she wanted to like write about politics and all that other stuff. So in a way, basically Andy got screwed over a ton of times in this movie, and I will stand by
So
that.
did. She so got screwed over. She was totally played by her boss. And that is such like a good reason to leave. Like she had to have thought about it because she has a bunch of friends in New York. And so like I feel like after finding out about Ben, yeah, it was like a rash decision to like go to an interview, but at the same time, she had other reasons. Like he wasn't the only reason she was leaving. She was going to like benefit her career.
It's time to be real, so I'm gonna be real.
Oh my god. Okay, pause. I just got the
Okay, I've never done a podcast be real before.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. Okay, okay.
Slay. I've that's so fun. I've never done a podcast be real before. I love okay, fun. I don't think I've ever talked about it on the podcast. I love be real so much. Podcast.
Me too.
Yeah, that's so fun. Per. Yeah. So I don't even we were talking about men. Yeah, basically led on the entire time, and
Yeah.
that's sick. You're a sick
It's
human being.
gross.
It's
Okay,
gross.
Matthew's good.
What?
Matthew's like, it's disgusting.
It is
I can
just
tell Matt. I just like, He's in his
It
feels right now.
it's okay, it's terrible. And like I feel like okay, even like so say they break up, like which I definitely think happened like in at some point, like in the near future after they like do their thing or whatever. Like they got back together, they broke up because he was definitely just like leading her on.
Hmm.
And so messy. And I've said that like 500 times, so I need to stop. But also TBH, I think in the end she should have just followed her dreams and went to Washington.
Me too, because she could have become like a serious writer for like a different company.
Yeah. So here's my other advice. If someone holds you back from like your dreams and like something that you want to do, maybe you shouldn't be with them.
Exactly.
Because I feel like that's like the first thing that is not speaking from experience is just like if they're like so she really wanted to go to Washington, like this is what she wanted to do. Like and she even said like at first she was like I want to go to Washington. Like, this is where I can do what I want to do. And then he was like, no, like, stay with me. But, like,
Mhm.
why? Like, what are you going to provide for her? Because,
Like he's not gonna provide a job.
exactly. And, like, I
Like
hate to say it, but, like, jobs are so important. Like, even though this was, like, 2002. So, like, I might be reading, like, way too much into it. But, like,
yeah, I just feel like it was important for her at least to have a career doing writing what she wanted to write because she was a serious journalist. And he was like, "No, stay in New York with me while you hate your job and like pretty much everything in your life besides me, the guy who convinced you that he was in love with you and he really was so annoyed with you." Like,
we
so
don't stand.
I wish he'd gone to Washington.
Me too. Don't let anyone hold you back from your dreams because, like, especially, like, if she, I don't, I'm assuming this took place in, like, Chicago, New York.
It was New York.
New York. Okay, so she's going all the way to the other side of the country to follow her dreams. Clearly, she wants to do it. So personally, not a fan of that. Yeah, I don't really think there's any other. Oh, except for the mom of his mom. She was kind of
Mhm.
interesting because she was like trying. I couldn't tell if she was in on it or
Me either. Oh
because
my
she was
god.
like because Andy was like in contact with her a lot too.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like I don't even know how she got his mom's number in the
That was a
first
little
place, to be
weird.
honest. That was like what how I don't know. I don't know if her mom was I don't know if not his mom. I don't know if Ben's mom was in on Andy's side or in on Ben's side or both. Like I don't know what the mom was playing at. But like the scene where they're playing bullshit was like it was super cute because they're all like, "Oh, he's never brought a girl home before," but like he's never brought a girl home, and he brings home like she should have thought about like he's never brought a girl home, but he's brought you home after knowing you for a week max.
Yeah.
Like
Red
suspicious.
red flag because I couldn't tell either
Red.
because I thought for a while that she might be in on like Andy's thing, but
Mhm.
then I don't think she was
No, I think she
because I
was
think she was in
definitely
on
in.
Ben's.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell. It was
I
really
feel.
weird. It was I think that the one thing about this movie is there was like a couple questionable like plot holes. Um
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't want to read too much into it because we haven't even like done our little deep dive. It's not little because I rip movies to shreds sometimes. That's okay. I did it the other day. I talked about The Little Mermaid 2. Kind of a bad movie, but a fun time to watch.
That's such a bad movie.
It's such a bad movie, but it's so fun to watch. And that's my toxic trait is because I love watching bad movies. Um, so
Honestly.
starting at the beginning, let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. Um, it, okay, I'm sorry. I don't have theater kids on the podcast very often, so like I feel like I need to like run with it
You're good. You're good. For good.
for good. So Andy Anderson is a writer for composure it's like a magazine, like I guess you could compare it to like Cosmopolitan, etc. And
Yeah.
she is doing a how-to like article vibe, and she wants to write about more serious topics. And so her boss is like, you can write this if you want to write more, if like it's good. But her friend also is going through a breakup. So friend going through breakup, ooh, sad face.
Oh,
Sometimes could be good, sometimes could be bad. She seems very upset about it though. Um, and she's like, I'm not attractive enough. Goes through all of those bad negative feelings, which is so untrue because everyone is hot stuff. I feel like that's also another musical reference, the Donna Summer musical. And so she basically is like that if you're like needy and emotional with men, you can lose them in like 10 days to prove this point. So she wants to do this
mhm.
herself. So she's doing this for work, first off. But second off, I feel like she's also doing this for herself, but she didn't anticipate to like actually fall for him
Mhm.
like she did. But like, arguably, I just don't think he was in love with her
No, he was not.
at all. I feel like it was all for his bet, which
Honestly,
we kind of get to because we have, Benjamin Barry. It's funny, Benjamin Barry. Who is trying to like do this new campaign for this company, and he is basically like something about diamonds, like if he has enough experience with them. So
that's
like,
just
and so I feel like personally he was just doing this for like to further his own good and not like fall in love. And so like the feelings weren't real, which could is terrible. Not isn't could be terrible. It is terrible. And so the whole like thing is like if he gets a girl to fall in love with him, then he can like propose to her with a diamond and then have experience with diamonds. Is what I'm getting.
Mhm.
And so let's see. We've got, um he's also has like rivals like Judy and I think they're Judy and Judy. I think that's like the thing, the joke. Um
Probably.
and they already know what's like gonna happen. And so they choose like him or her to be um the one.
Yeah, because they knew what Andy was doing, so then they purposely did it. They did it on purpose, which is honestly so funny. Like, go girls.
They set him up.
They really did.
Like he also set himself up for failure at TBH too, so we can't really say anything. Um yeah, so they never like actually tell each other what they're doing, which is I think the funny part
Hmm.
because so they have like these two different motives of like falling in love and then one is to scare away. So they're doing the complete opposite. But he is just such a bad person, I feel like, because he
Evil.
like he like sticks around the entire time. Like he wants to leave because he's so over it, but continues to like feed into this. Like there's
Hmm.
multiple times where he like wants to leave and his friends are like, "No, like stay.
Yeah,
Like you're
exactly.
almost done." So he's definitely just using this for his own benefit, and that is sickening. Um, you know, in this actually one of like the first things that Andy does is misses like makes him miss the final shot at this game.
Yeah.
That was
And
rough.
that was
Okay.
so
I'm not a sports
heartbreaking.
person, but like I feel like that was rough for me to watch.
That was like that was like Andy's like I feel like that was like her last thing. That was like a oh, like let's do this. And he was like so upset, but then he was like, whatever, it's for the bet. I have to keep going. And I feel like that gave Andy like so much like she was so confused all the time.
Like I
She
feel like
was like,
she like
why?
was expecting him to just like break and be like done,
Yeah.
but he never was because then okay, this scene absolutely killed me. It was the movie scene where she's like talking the entire time during a movie. And fun fact, my least favorite thing about movies is when people talk during movies.
Mhm.
Okay, if you're gonna talk, like whisper, and like okay, also movie theater dates are so basic, but like could be good. So like they tried, but it just
Yeah,
didn't
they
go
tried.
good because then he like got knocked out by this big man, scary man, for talking, and she like sacrificed him to this man. She's like, you can deal with this. You can deal with him outside. Like, okay, girl. Like, I don't really think that Ben was, that's his name. Yeah, Ben is like not even like that like strong looking of a man. So she really
I don't know. I
sacrificed.
feel like he's got like a secret six pack or something. I don't know.
You know what? Maybe he does. But I was just like, okay, you literally just sacrificed your best friend. Got it.
Mhm.
Or who you're pretending to be your best friend. Unsure at this point. We're still unsure. Um, then let's see. She moves her things into his apartment so early on.
Oh my god, so cringy.
She gets the fern. We get the fern plant. I love ferns.
The love fern.
I also have like a new fern squishmallow. It's like over there. It's my favorite thing ever. It's so like I bought it at Target because I thought that no one else was gonna buy it if I didn't buy it. Because that's how I felt. I was like, if I don't buy it, no one else will, and I felt so bad. So I literally bought it, and it's so cute. It's orange. It has like a little orange vase, and then like a little fern top. It's so cute. I'm also not a squishmallow person either, but like kind of in my squishmallow era. Juliana has always been in her squishmallow era.
Since the summer. Yeah.
It's okay. I kind of love it. I also have a Sarah from Hocus Pocus one. One of my favorite. I love Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus.
So good.
Except for the second one, kind of missed the mark for me.
Second one, oh, it was Home Missed the Mark. Okay, moving on to this movie.
Moving on to this movie because we get distracted. Then the dog, we can't forget the dog, and then the Celine Dion concert.
The Celine Dion concert that was so funny to me because he thought they were seeing a Knicks game and he missed the Knicks game because they were literally in the concert.
Yeah, that's really funny. But
So
then she's also like showing her true self sometimes, which also like is leading him on in a way, but like he's also leading her on, so
yeah.
it goes
Like I
both
feel like
ways.
I feel like the point of like Andy's thing, like trying to like be normal too, is because her thing was it had to last 10 days. She couldn't lose him after like the second day. So I feel like she
True.
had to like kind of be normal sometimes to like balance out her crazy that she was putting on. But like, I don't know, I feel like she kind of had to do that like for her like work, you know?
Yeah, for her article, because she's doing this for work. He's doing this just to be an a-hole. Um,
Honestly.
Basically, she then goes to the boys' poker night, to like push him over the edge,
Mhm.
and he just like it doesn't push him over the edge at all.
Yeah.
Like his friends are like, you're almost done, you're almost done. So they're like, go to couples therapy, which such an iconic scene. So instead of going to an actual therapist, they go to Andy's friend, and she's just basically like accuses him of being gay. And like asks about their sex life, which is so funny to me. I don't know why, because I feel like she just was like jumping straight to conclusions, as she should though.
No,
Um,
it was honestly to make him go crazy, I feel like.
oh yeah. And it's then they start to like then they go to the Staten Island weekend with the fam. That's so funny. Why did I say the fam? But like they like start to form a bond. Like I feel like they're actually like starting to fall for each other in some way, whether it's like genuine or not. And
Yeah.
then they go to the company ball together, which this is where it gets so messy. Like
Hmm.
if it wasn't messy before, it is messy now.
Because they
Um,
find sorry, spoiler. Keep
no,
going.
you're good. You could say it, Bay.
Oh my god, because then that's when they both find out about each other and they both like realize at like the same time from different people because unknowingly her boss is like, "Oh, yeah, that's our how-to girl, Andy. She's doing an article of how to lose a guy in 10 days." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh." Because then she realizes and she's like, "Oh, probably shouldn't have said that." Like, and
So
then Andy's like,
funny.
and then like, who does Andy talk to that tells her? Because I think it's one of his friends,
It's one of his
and
friends.
one of his awful friends.
Bad friends, bad guy. I'm actually gonna make a promotional
Bad
post for
friends,
this
bad guy.
episode that literally just says bad friends, bad guy. Listen to the new episode.
quote from the episode, literally.
Yeah.
I think that's like such like a movie moment, but honestly, I feel like that's the moment everyone was waiting for the entire time.
Yeah. TBH. I was like waiting for the reveal. I honestly thought that it was gonna be like later, like at the very end, like after they like, like confess their undying love for each other. But like this was good too, because then they had the karaoke moment where she's like blaster drunk.
So drunk.
And
And
I
her
loved
defense
it.
though, she kept getting handed like glasses after glass of champagne. So I mean, kind of not her fault, but she probably shouldn't have drank that much. But oh my God, I feel like the song choice for this movie is so iconic. And like realizing now, so many artists have like covered this song.
Yeah, there's so many good like the soundtrack of this movie.
So good. It's like honestly like serving Y2K realness.
Like
Like
okay, realness.
I feel like this is like the only like 2000s movie I know where they don't use that one song where it's like it's a perfect day. You know what I mean? And I feel like it
You're
makes it
so right.
so I feel like it makes it so much more realistic and I honestly love it for that. But no, the soundtrack is so good. It's giving City Girl. It's
It's so good. Then they argue on stage in the karaoke song, which is super fun. And then she like runs away while wearing this like famous like jewel. So then she gets chased by
oh my god.
security.
And they're having this fight and she's like taking off the necklace, like, I'm ready to like beat this guy up.
And then she's like taught and then the article goes live. Like go it will I wouldn't say goes live because it's not like it's being published online, but like is printed. And it basically is about how she lost the only guy that she ever loved.
And I like I get it, but at the same time,
10 days.
10 days and not even because I feel like the article was published on the 10th day or something like that. I don't even know. The timeline of this movie is whack,
It
honestly.
doesn't 100% make sense at all.
No, but I just feel like the title is so catchy, and I feel like that's the reason it's messed up. But how did you know that she's in love with this guy after 10 days when she was like hardly her true self around him? And then she found out that he was just playing her the entire time. So he didn't even love her. He loved the game they were playing.
That was so good. Like, I think I'm just gonna like cut that audio and that's gonna be like a little promotional clip for this movie because it's so true. Like, it's so true. Like, Juliana literally came in and she said, I'm dropping facts.
She said, I have experience.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's just absolutely like terrible. I hate men. But yeah, but then he like comes back and is like, I'm in love with you, and like, okay, BS.
No. And then, like, he wants her to sacrifice her entire new career because of their love that lasted 10 days. That was, like, literally fake.
Yeah, no offense. I don't think you can fall in love with someone in 10 days.
No. No, you can't. I looked this up a while ago, but I feel like the normal time to say I love you is, like, after a month.
Yeah.
That's, like,
Or
a
like you can
ton.
still feel those things and never say them because you shouldn't.
Like, you can feel that you're falling in love with someone, but, like, not that you shouldn't no, but I feel like it takes time to get to know a person to the point where you're like, I love you so much because you know the person. Like they don't know each other. They've
At
never
all.
talked before. They never talked before they started their like whole like situation. And like they didn't even call each other their boyfriend or girlfriend. And I don't
I
know.
think
I
she
feel
called him
like
like a boyfriend once and he like just let it slide. Like they weren't even official
yeah.
and he just was like, okay.
Yeah, because that was part of her thing.
Yeah.
Like that was part of like her being clingy and weird. I don't know. I just feel like the entire those TikToks where it's like, did the movie couple break up or not? They definitely broke up.
Oh, they
Like,
did. 100%. That's our prediction. Prediction for 2023 or whatever year this takes place in. Um, Done. I'm making a 2023 predictions for people in my life list, so I think I should send that to you.
I better be on that.
You are.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, yeah, okay. Overall, terrible plot, fun movie. You don't have to give like an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
No, I think if I had to rate this movie, I would give it like a 7.25 simply because
We're picky.
I
Okay.
I love the vibes and like I watched this when I was a kid because my older sister loved it. So like I love the vibes, I love the music. And I think when they're actually like being real to each other, like after they play the card game at his parents' house and then they like talk in the bathroom, that why did they do that in the bathroom in his parents' house? But also that was like the one time they were actually like, I don't know, being themselves. It was crazy. So like I feel like there are some moments, but like I just like to make fun of it. And like the yellow dress makes up for it. So like the plot and timeline is what takes it down, I think.
I think it's the plot, timeline, and just like the horrible personalities of both of them. Actually,
Mhm.
okay, maybe like a 7.75 for me. It's
Okay.
not like an 8, but like it's not like the best thing I've ever seen. Like it's such a fun time. Like when I watched it with Anna and then I watched it like for the pod today because I was gonna watch it last night and
Mhm.
then I fell asleep. Um, Thriving. But yeah, it was so fun to have you on the podcast. You are always welcome. We also got to be real on the podcast for the first time. That's so fun. Like, ugh.
All
And we
right.
just got to like really vibe. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the places. You know the vibes. Um, and I post a new episode whenever I feel like it. I will see you all in another episode again soon. Bye.